Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Conference Call. Today we are fortunate to have His Grace Prangovind Prabhuji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 15th chapter, verse 14 onwards. Hare Krishna, Suresh Sham Prabhuji. Before that, we would like to introduce about Prabhuji. I would like to hand over to Suresh Sham Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj Prabhuji.
Yeah, Dhanavad Pranam Mataji. All glories to Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. Yeah, His Grace Prangovind Prabhuji was born in 1962 in East Pakistan. His maternal grandfather was a follower of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Prabhuji had the pleasure of experiencing Vaishnava festivals and dramas, which led him to the desire to be a Vaishnava from a very early age. In 1971, Prabhuji attended a lecture that Srila Prabhupada was giving in Desha Priya Park and saw Western devotees for the first time. In 1977, while visiting a cousin in West Bengal, he overheard a neighbor enthusiastically talking about the ISKCON temple in Mayapur, which made him visit the temple where he met Raghav Pandit Prabhu. In 1978, Prabhuji moved to Vrindavan, where he met His Holiness Bhakticharu Swami Maharaj, and Maharaj encouraged him to preach where he wanted and returned to Vrindavan for bhajan when he got old. He then took initiation. He follows His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. In 1980s, Prabhuji focused on book distribution in Calcutta, managing the guest house in Mayapur, managing the Gaur Purnima festival, facilitating prasadam and accommodations for GBCs, sannyasis, devotees, and life members. Prabhuji was also served as a life member director and fundraiser for Mayapur temple. He then traveled with Bhakticharu Swami Maharaj and His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj to Europe and America. Since 2003, Prangovind Prabhu has been living and serving at the Alajpa temple by giving Krishna Katha and counseling devotees daily in overcoming their challenges in their spiritual path. Recently, Prangovind Prabhuji has been encouraged in translating Mana Shiksha for Her Grace Urmila Mataji, and he is planning to take sannyas to progress further in his devotion. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam Mataji, back to you Mataji.
Mataji, you are on mute, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prangovind Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for giving your valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now I would like to hand over call to you, Prabhuji. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha Conference Call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Is that lyric visible by everyone, or is this small font?
Mataji, can you make it bigger?
If possible.
Yeah. It's bigger now.
Okay, wonderful. So today's, we have a very interesting text. I feel like Bhakti Japa Sangha group, they are so merciful to me. They always give me the best text. Or maybe that's how I see it. I think they are very nice devotees. So I appreciate. So I found that Srila Prabhupada's translation and purport relate to our Guru Parampara succession. What maybe today we can count what we got in our lives so we can be grateful eternally. So in order to establish that, I would like to sing the entire succession, the Guru Parampara list. So please join. I'm not a good singer, but I'll try my best. You can follow as you like, or you can sing together. Krishna haite chatur mukha, Hare Krishna sevan mukha, Brahma haite narade ramati, Narada haite vyasa, Madhya kahe vyasa dasa Purna pragya padma navagati Nihari madhava vangse Akshabha paramahanse Shisha bali angi karakare Akshobheda sisa jaya Tirtha name parichaya Tarodasis gena sindhutare Taha haite daya nidhi Tarodasa vidha nidhi Rajendra haila Taha hate Tahara kinkara jaya Dharma name parichaya Parampara jana phalamate Jaya dharma dase kheti si purushottama jati Tahate brahmana tirtha suri Vesatirtha taro das Lakshmi pati Vesadas Tahate madhavendra puri Madhavendra Puri Bharasi Sabarasi Heshara Nitananda Sri Advaita Vibhu Ishara Puri ke dhanna karilena Sri Chaitanya Jagat Guru Gaura Mahaprabhu Mahaprabhu Sri Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahayana Rupanaga Jane Rajivana Visambara Priyankara Sri Sharupa Damodara Sri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Sri Goswami Rupa Sanatana Rupa Priya Mahajana Jiva Raghunatha Hana Tara Priya Kavi Krishna Dasa Krishna Dasa Priya Vara Narottama Seva Para Jara Pada Vishwanatha As Jara Pada Vishwanatha As Vishwanatha Bhakta Sata Baladeva Jagannatha Tara Priya Si Bhakti Vinoda Mahabhagavata Vara Sri Gaura Kishora Vara Hari Bhajanete Jara Moda Hari Bhajanete Jara Moda Yara Paramahansa Gaurangera Nija Vamsa Tadero Charana Namagoti Ami Sevayo Dasin Nametati Nadin Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Sri Vishwabhana Vipara Sadaseva Seva Para Taharadayita Dasanamam Taro Pradhana Pracharaka Sri Bhakti Vedanta Nama Patita Janete Dayadhama Patita Janete Dayadhama Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Guru Parampara Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Gurudev 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I would like somebody to read the translation, if possible, of that Guru Parampara song. Can someone voluntarily read the translation?
I can read. Oh. Yes, Prabhuji, I can read. I'll get the book.
Yes, Mataji, please go ahead, Mataji. Kamadika Mataji.
Yeah, I'm getting book. Oh,
Okay.
here. Oh, you have the translation here. Okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Please accept my humble obeisances. Glory to Srila Prabhupada and all the devotees. Hare Krishna. In the beginning of creation, the science of devotional service was received by the Brahma from the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Devashi Narada's understanding of this divine obtained from Brahma. The great sage Krishna Dvipan Vyasa, who was empowered to Vedic literatures, became a disciple of Devashi Narada. Sripad Madhvacharya, the four found Shuddha Advaita school of Vedanta philosophy, who visited Vyasadeva at Badrikashram in the certain century or to learn from him Vedanta philosophy, calls himself a servant of Krishna Dvaipayana. Yes, Purna Prajna Tirtha Madhva is the guru and sole refuge of Padmanabha Tirtha. Number two, the two other principal disciples of Madhva are Narihari Tirtha and Madhava Tirtha. Madhava Tirtha accepted the great Paramahamsa Akshobhya Tirtha as a disciple. The principal disciple of Akshobhya Tirtha was known as Jaya Tirtha. Jaya Tirtha's service was for his disciple Janasindhu. 3. Dayanidhi. Dayanidhi received the science of devotional service from Janasindhu, and the Dayanidhi was Vidyanidhi. Vidyadhiraj Tirtha. Rajendra Tirtha became a disciple of Rajendra Tirtha. Rajendra Tirtha's servant was known as Jayadharma or Vijayadharma Tirtha. In the because the last word is not showing here, so that's why I'm skipping. In the Parampara, this should where is it? Okay, should properly understand this disciplic succession. The great sannyasi Sri Purushottama Tirtha received his knowledge in the service of Vijayadvaja Tirtha, Jayadharma. The principal disciple of Purushottama Tirtha was Tirtha.
Subramani.
Because this one word is I cannot read. It's
Yes,
covered.
Subramanian Mataji.
Yeah, his servant was the great Vyasa Tirtha, Vyasa Rai. Vyasa Tirtha's servant was Lakshmi Tirtha, and whose disciple was Madhendra Puri Goswami. The chief disciple of Madhendra Puri was Ishwar Puri, and two of his other disciples, renowned incarnations of Godhead, Sri Nityananda and Advaita Acharya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, spiritual preceptor of all the worlds, made Ishwar Puri greatly fortunate by accepting him as his spiritual master. Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none different from Sri Radha and Krishna, and is the very very
life of
Life
those
of
Vaishnavas.
Yeah.
Vaishnavas who follow Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Swarup Damodar Goswami, Sri Rupa Goswami, and Swarup Damodar Goswami, the givers of great happiness to Vishwambara, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The great souls, Jiva Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami, became very dear to Rupa Goswami and Jiva Goswami. Hare Krishna, yeah. And Jiva Goswami was a disciple of Rupa Goswami. And Raghunath Das Goswami, a disciple
Right,
Acharya. Yadunanda, disciple of Yadunandan Acharya, was accepted by Rupa and Sanatana as their
Third Third brother.
Raghunath Das Goswami's beloved student was Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is an intimate friend of Lokanath Goswami. They lived together in Vrindavan and always drank, discussed topics of Krishna with one another. Lokanath Goswami, a disciple of Gadadhar Pandit, has disciple
only one.
name was Narottam Das. Narottam Das was always engaged in the service of his guru, and he also engaged himself in the service of his guru's intimate friends.
Thus he became very
became dear to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. To serve the feet of Narottam Das Thakur was the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who was the first Acharya in disciplic succession from
Narottam
Das. Thakur, from Narottam Das. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was the sixth Guru, instructing spiritual master of Vidyabhushan, to whom he taught the precepts of Srimad Bhagavatam. Jagannatha's Babaji, very prominent Acharya after Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan, and was the beloved Shiksha Guru of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur's intimate friend and associate was the eminent Bhagavata Sri Gaurkishore Das Babaji, whose soul joy was found in Hari Bhajan. This trait, saintly Vaishnavas are all Paramhansas or devotees of the highest order, and all part of Lord own spiritual family. Their holy feet are my refuge. I have no other
real interest
in devotional service, and I am a poor and lowly Trirani sannyasi named Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj. Prabhupada, the renowned Sri Varsapanavi Devi Daita Das, the initiated name of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, always engaged in the service of his spiritual master, Sri Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. His foremost disciple preacher is Sri HG Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who has spread the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu throughout the world and is thus a reservoir of mercy and compassion of all fallen souls.
Haribol Mataji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, Mata.
Yes, all these
very
pictures
nice.
are covering the right side, so then I cannot see the words, certain words.
Oh, I thought you were actually busy because all the mercy coming from all the personality. So you got probably overwhelmed.
I'm sorry that I was missing it because about two inches of whole strip like that on the right side. And the pictures are there, all the speaker and whatever, the chanters. So I couldn't see some words are missing from my reading. So please forgive me.
No, Mother Komodiki Mata, you are the recipient of all those great personalities' mercy today. So you got little bewildered, overwhelmed with their mercy. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's your mercy. That I know. Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Let me mute myself.
So first of all, I'm very grateful to be here with all of you. First of all, I'd like to give my thanks, offer my appreciation to Bhakti Japa Sangha Group. They are wonderfully giving me a particular verse which actually illuminates my heart every time I get the text from Mother Samago. So I appreciate that. Also, I'm very, very much eternally indebted to Srila Prabhupada, and I want to remain there indebted. Although I want to pay the debts, but at the same time, I want to remain indebted to him. In a sense that he has created such a revolution bhakti turmoil in the heart of so many hundreds and thousands of devotees all over the world, that there is a Bhagavatam class is going on almost every big cities all the time, somewhere in the world, always Bhagavatam going on. It's so nice. It's like a rare opportunity. It's better than Satya Yuga. It is not, yes, it is Kali Yuga, but it's better than Satya Yuga because you have that access of Bhagavatam. In Satya Yuga, we did not have the Bhagavatam. We had the other Puranas. And so we are very fortunate to Srila Prabhupada, eternally indebted to him. With that note, I'm going to, also I'm very much thankful to all the devotees who participated today, taking your valuable time to hear what Bhagavatam has to offer. I'm not qualified, but I'll try to serve by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and this Guru Parampara. So in the beginning of this today's assignment, you may hear all these names. You may not be familiar. I don't know, maybe none of you ever got disturbed, but I was wondering why so many names is given. Even in the temple, other day I was singing some of the songs, it's all names. And then what is that means? What am I supposed to think about those names? Why those names are specialty? So today I wanted to just go along with this idea why Mahaprabhu gave importance to Bhagavatam. He says in Madhya-lila, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes, Madhya-lila chapter 10, 187, in case if you want to find a reference. He says that all those great personality, they are like a rivers flow into the sea. Means all those devotees' names that we are going to recite in the Bhagavatam, throughout the entire universe, there are devotees who actually come to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's shelter during these 10,000 years. And those who came before and those who will come in future. And we are in the middle. So they're all the devotees are glorified due to their wonderful relationship they have awakened or established or re-established, any way you can say it, with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Shri Radha Shyama Sundar, Radha Krishna of Golok Vrindavan. So just by uttering those names, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes, Jatana Danadi Jaiche Samudra Milan, Hoiche Mahaprabhur Bhakta Jahata Hahai, Sabe Asi Milia Prabhur Sri Charane, Prabhu Kripa Kari Sava, Rakhila Nijastane, Eito Kahila Prabhur Vaishnava Milan, Iha Jai Sune Pai Chaitanya Charan. Just by hearing those names, just by hearing those names literally, Prabhupada translate, whoever hears this description, those names of Mahaprabhu's associate ultimately attains his shelter. So today's verse is from 5th canto, 15th chapter, text 14, 15 first, and then 16. So it is a prose. I'm going to just try to chant together. Unless you have some melody, I would like to add up, but I don't know. So please bear with me. Please fold your hand and have access to dive into this Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada introduced us by chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, which is supposed to awaken you from your sleep, from this body, within this body you can say, and be awakened state to receive the mercy of the Lord. So please repeat with me or after together, however it is a Zoom class. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayat Nastaprais Abhadresu Nittam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Mukhaṁ Karati Vachalam Pangulangayate Girim Jat Kripa Tamaham Bande Sri Guru Dinatarinam Sri Chaitanya Isharam Paramananda Madhavam. So reciting this 5th canto, 15th chapter, text 14-15. Gayat Gayantam Chitrarata Sugatiravodhan iti traya Putra bhavo bhushchitra ratha durnayam sambrara janista Tata utkalayam marichir vindumatam vindumano opa oda paddata tasmat saragayam madhurnama bhavannado sumanasi virabratas tastu Bhojayam mantra pramantam jignato manto sattayam bhovanastato dushanayam tasta janista tusta virachanayam virajo virajasya satjit pravaram putra satam kannacha vishucham kila jatam. Srila Prabhupada's translation. Now, if we go to the word-to-word meaning, actually we can find those personality and then we'll read the translation. Sorry. Gayat from Maharaj Gaya. It's not Gaya. The place Gaya, no, it's Gaya. I was searching, doing little research this morning. It is not from the place where that name came. It's a Gaya is a difference. Not long R, short R, short A. Gayantam, in his wife name Gayanti. Chitra Ratha, name Chitra Ratha. Sugati, name Sugati. Avarodhana, named Avarodhana. Iti das, traya, three. Putra sons, Bahuva are born. Chitraratha, from Chitraratha. Urunayam, in the womb of Urna. Samrat, named Samrat. Ajanista was born. Tata, from him. Utkalayam, in his wife named Utkala. Marichi, named Marichi. Mariche, from Marichi. Bindumatam, in the womb of his wife Bindumati. Bindum, a son named Bindu. Anudapadayat was born. Tasmat, from him. Saragayam, in the womb of his wife Saraga. Madhu, named, Nam, named. Abhavat was born. Madhu, from Madhu. Sumanashi, in the womb of his wife Sumana. Virabrata, the son named Virabrata. Tata, from Virabrata. Bhojayam, in the womb of his wife Bhoja. Mantu, Pramantu, two sons named Mantu and Pramantu. Jagyate were born. Mantu, from Mantu. Sattayam, in his wife Satta. Bhavanaha, a son named Bhovana. Tataha, from him. Dushanayam, in the womb of his wife Dushana. Tasta, one son named Tasta. Ajanista was born Tostu from Tasta. Viruchanayam in his wife named Virochana. Virajaha, short a son named Viraja, not Viraja or Viraja. Not that river Viraja or Viraja, but it's Viraja, short. Virajasya of King Viraja. Satajit Pravaram, headed by Satajit. Putra Satam, 100 sons. Kanna, a daughter. Cha also Vishochim in his wife, Vishochi. Kila, indeed, Jatam took birth. Because they have achieved pure goodness, so just by uttering or hearing their name, it gives us bhakti credit. So translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In the womb of Gayanti, Maharaj Gaya begot 3 sons named Chitraratha, Sugati, and Avarodhan. In the womb of his wife Urna, Chitraratha begat a son named Samrat. The wife of Samrat was Utkala. In her womb, Samrat begot a son named Marichi. In the womb of his wife Bindumati, Marichi begot a son named Bindu. In the womb of his wife Saragha, Bindu begat the son named Madhu. In the womb of his wife named Sumana, Madhu begat the son named Virabrata. In the womb of his wife Bhoja, Virabrata begot 2 sons named Mantu and Pramantu. In the womb of his wife Satta, Mantu begot a son named Bhovana. In the womb of his wife Dusana, Bhovana begot a son named Tasta. In the womb of his wife Virochana, Tasta begot a son named Viraja. The wife of Viraja was Vishuchi. In her womb, Viraja begot 100 sons and 1 daughter. Of all these sons, the son Satajit was predominant. Now we'll go to text 16. Tatrayam slokaha. Praibratam bangsamimam virajascharam udbhavaha akarod tallam kirta vishnu suraganam jatha. So translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. There is a famous verse about King Viraja. Because of his high quality and wide fame, King Viraja became the jewel of the dynasty of King Priyabrata. Just as Lord Vishnu, by his transcendental potency, decorates and blesses the demigods. Purport. With a garden, a flowering tree attains a good reputation because of its fragrant flower. Similarly, if there is a famous man in a family, he is compared to a fragrant flowers in a forest. Because of him, an entire family can become famous in history. Because Lord Krishna took birth in the Jodhu dynasty, the Jodhu dynasty and the Jadavas have remained famous for all time. Because of King Viraja's appearance, the family of Maharaja Priyabrata has remained famous for all time. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of 5th canto, 15th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, the glories of descendant of King Priyabrata. I'm going to beg mercy of all the Vaishnava and Vaishnavis that participating today, and also Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara, you all can join. We can just pray together, offer our Puspanjali. Om Ajnanati Mirandhasya Ginanjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam jena tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanitam Tam Sajivam Sadaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishaka Nitangscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Simate Bhakti Vedanta Sami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschata Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataruvesha Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnavebho Namo Namo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. So in this purport, I found few key points. One is, who is this Viraja that became a successful or promoter of King Priyabrata's dynasty? What did he teach? So I found couple of verses from Priyabrata's wonderful explanation that how his successor actually attracted thousands of souls to adopt this bhakti. So it is also in Bhagavatam, in this first chapter. So I'll go to there just couple. And then Srila Prabhupada in the purport, he mentioned about Krishna, how he made famous to all the Jadavas. Now he's still making famous to all of us, coming to the lotus feet. By his grace, he came in a form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to take us back home. So I would like to also discuss his affection, protection, his care, how much he cares for us from Bhagavad Gita, so you can relate. And then we will like to, the third part, we would like to go into our Guru Parampara to be grateful and progress steadily and smoothly. Let's see what we got from these great personalities. Maybe you all can contribute whatever you would like. You have a choice. And I would like to also participate in that. So first I want to go to Priyabratas, that where King Viraja became famous. First of all, Priyabrata is the first son of Swayambhuva Manu. This whole canto is nothing but Priyabrata, the Brahmaji's, from Vishnu, Brahmaji, then Brahmaji to Swayambhuva Manu and Satarupa, two personality came, and their combination, the 5 children came, and that's how the whole literally the planet or the universe got filled. And one was Uttanapada, which was explained in 4th canto. Now the 5th canto is all Priyabrata. So Priyabrata, though he was a first son, but he went for celibacy meditation in mountain. So that's why he's coming later in 5th canto instead of 4th canto. And he was a very powerful king. He reigned the power of sun, you can say. And he had a next chapter and the chapter on, the rest, it's all about his descendant. When he married Brahishmati, daughter of Kardama Muni, Prajapati, he got of our 2 daughters named Samrat and Kukshi, and 10 sons, Agnidra, Agnibahu, Bapushman, Dhutiman. We'll see those details. Hopefully you remember it, maybe from previous chapters. And then how this whole Bhumandal, everything came, which is next chapter, we'll be explaining. So the two few, maybe I didn't research all the Puranas, Vedas from the Veda base, but few I found was very popular, promoted, established by King Priyabrata, but promoted by Viraja, the king, who did. There's a one verse, it says that Bhayam Pramatasya Baneshu Apished Jatasha Aste Shahashata Saptana Jitendriya Shatma Rater Buddhasya Grihasrama Kimno Karoti Avaddam. It talks about ISKCON devotees, talks about all the Vaishnavas, that we should be always afraid of Maya, because he infected this philosophy in the heart of those sadhaka. That's why he became popular. Bhagavatam said he very popular in that dynasty, not because he was born there. Many people comes in our Guru Parampara, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur's. He took initiation from Bipin Bihari, but we don't glorify much. We don't see much. Ramanujacharya, he did not talk about so much about Vrindavan or Radha Krishna. Talks about Sitaram, Lakshmi Narayan mostly, but we glorify and observe his birthday, appearance day. Why? Because he has contributed in our heart something that we have to have strong foundation of, in order to build the Gauriya philosophy. So, but Sahajiyas, 13 Upasampradaya, they talk about Radha Krishna, but we never glorify. We never even mention. Rather, we say, stay away. So there are some key points, what focused and applied and exemplified by those personality in our parampara, that Bhagavatam mentions the name, and in our parampara, those are the exalted soul. You may say, well, our parampara is not like a really clear, there are some missing, because the flow of the Gauravani, what Mahaprabhu came to give, was not flowing through everyone. So whoever it flowed through is touching our heart. So we should be knowing what are the truth coming through them, and then what was the special contribution of that particular. So Maharaj Viraja, he was quoting this verse, what King Priyabrata said, and he said that even if you go to the forest to forest, if you go to mountain or cave or hide from anywhere, you will not be protected from Maya, because you live with 6 co-wives. Every embodied soul who got the human body has a 6 co-wives: the mind and the knowledge acquiring senses. Even householder life, however, cannot harm a self-realized learned man who has conquered his senses. So he promoted that take bhakti and conquer these 6 enemies. Otherwise, you will never get out of this Maya's world. And if you think by going somewhere, you will save yourself, he said, no, stay where you are, but practice bhakti and you can conquer these 6 co-wives. Then another sloka, I'm just giving in a shorter version, very nice. Another one, he also said that how in Priyabrata's dynasty, he found to control the mind and senses. So he gave the problem and then he gave the solution. He says, one who is situated in household life, who systematically conquers his mind and 5 senses, organs, is like a king in his fortress, who conquers his powerful enemies. After one who has been trained in household life, his lusty desire have decreased. He can move anywhere without danger. So he actually promoted the Grihastha life, which Bhaktivinoda Thakur actually promoted. One time in a morning walk, devotee asked, Bhagavad Prabhu told me that, the devotee asked, what was the difference between Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur and Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Prabhupada said, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wants everybody to get married. It's difficult in Kali Yuga, and do Namhatta, and through that you can flourish. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, the deplorable situation of this Kali Yuga is so bad that we need a war against. So please, I'm recruiting as many, join and push this movement. So Prabhupada said that was the only difference, that he says, emergency, come on, join, help. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, get married, stay in family, do Namato and preach. There was no other difference. Philosophically, both are same. Application was little difference, that's all. And I would say today is the biggest contribution. When I was in Mayapur, Jayapataka Maharaj was glorifying Bhakti Vinod Thakur, but he said something, it touched me a lot. He said, we generally don't glorify Bhagavati Devi, Bhakti Vinod Thakur's wife, so much. But actually we owe her so much, because in her deathbed, she told Bimala Prasad, Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, who actually made this Krishna consciousness, who sent Prabhupada for us to the West, that don't forget your father's main instruction, that preach Krishna consciousness throughout the world, especially in English language. And she's about to leave her body, and she said this instruction and repeated to Bimala Prasad, who is Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. So we owe her. And then she left, and Bimala Prasad took that mother's instruction. Even though it originally came from Bhakti Vinod Thakur, but Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur took it seriously in his heart when his mother, in her deathbed, made it. And Jayapataka Maharaj was saying, we owe her eternally. Such a glorious Mother Bhagavati Devi. So, align with this Biraja's teaching, that Bhaktivinoda Thakur or Mother Bhagavati Devi, they actually promoted how you can become fearless in householder life. But of course, Prabhupada imbibed his guru's techniques, that it is emergency. He said we should have a Varnashram system. He did say at the end also, his preaching. But the Kali Yuga progressed so bad, we don't have a time. So I introduced the holy name, Harinam, and book distribution. This is a new revelation. Mahaprabhu did the same thing. His opposition was the Hindus, Brahmanas. They are the one who instigated with Chand Kaji and stopped Mahaprabhu, tried to stop. But of course, nobody can stop Mahaprabhu. And nobody can stop ISKCON. It will go on 10,000 years. Those who are fortunate will take advantage by participating. That doesn't mean life is easy. each of our life, all of you, life is very challenging. But what counts the most, that how much you actually dedicating through your challenge. Do you see Krishna consciousness? Can you come to Krishna? He created this challenge just for you, so you can approach him. So it is required. We are not responsible for all the bad thoughts, bad things that passing by or within us. But if we allow us to contemplate or reflect or even intention to exhibit those, then we are responsible for the bad things, and that will divert us away from Krishna consciousness for time being. So you have to be very careful. So with that note, I'm going to go to the next section of our Guru Parampara. We just sang that very nice song of Guru Parampara. And it is nice. I do something also every day to count what I got. I have come to Krishna consciousness. What did I get? When we really reflect this every day, believe me, I'm not an advanced devotee, but I see even my dirty heart gets illuminated by the mercy. We have accepted Srila Prabhupada, we have accepted our Guru within ISKCON, we have accepted this Guru Parampara. But we should always think we are not follower of formalists, but substantialists, not fashionist, not imitationist, but realistic thinkers. This should be always our temperament. Srila Prabhupada in 1.4.1, you can look in Bhagavatam, he said, every Bhagavatam speaker never surpass previous acharyas. So I always think every time I like to express my realization so I can get purified and be corrected also by the senior devotees who are in the audience, that I should never surpass the previous acharyas. Prabhupada writes, I must realize the subject matter so nicely that I can present the matter for a particular circumstances in a suitable manner. And Prabhupada mentioned in that purport that the original purpose of the text must be maintained. And Prabhupada also mentioned in the purport, no obscure meaning should be screwed out of it. It scared me, but it's so nice. Guideline, Prabhupada said. Who can speak, and what is the attitude, and what are the qualifications? Yet it should be presented in an interesting manner, Prabhupada writes, for the understanding of the audience. Personal realization does not mean, oh, you already put it up, very nice. Thank you. Yes. Then I go to the another one, is Adilila chapter 7.93. What is the essence of Bhagavatam? The whole chapter, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining the Bhagavatam. When we read, we have to see the purpose driven. What purpose drives? My purpose drives when we or I hear or speak Bhagavatam. The three component in that perception must follow. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bhagavan sambandha bhakti avideyahaya prema prayojan vede tina vastukaya. It is not just the lila or pastimes. Am I reawakening my relationship with Krishna? Do I see proper relationship the material nature that I'm getting hurt sometime, it actually has. Krishna actually created this material energy just to rectify me. Is my attitude changing? Is it getting devotional? Is it proper respectful to other Vaishnavas? Is my character is building up to be attracted, that Krishna will be attracted? Mahaprabhu says, "Eto boli ei shlok shikhailo more Bhagavate sare bole bare bare." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says the essence of Bhagavatam. My Guru Maharaj has taught that we have to take a vow. Evam brata nama kitta jato nuraga dhruto chitto ucce. That we have to take a vow that this is the guideline I must follow. I must be grateful, because grateful is a state of consciousness. Sripad Radhanath Maharaj, my spiritual mentor, he always, I could hear it even. He said the grateful attitude is a state of consciousness, a state awakened awareness. Am I grateful for every breath we breathe or I breathe? Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with Prakashananda Saraswati Thakur discussing about Bhagavatam, he says the attitude will decide our real progress. Our real design of life, our fulfillment comes always from the inner side. If we can catch up that thread, then we can go and get things of that higher spiritual quality, spiritual reality. We may appreciate beautiful figure, style, movement, intellectual delivery of the spiritual master. So many other style, movement, things may be appreciable. But what should be the highest focal point of our realization? What should be our highest aim for which we will eliminate everything else? Prabhus and mothers, you all gave up materialistic life. I mean, ask yourself, you gave up, even some of you relative who are still probably in a materialistic way, you gave up that lifestyle. For what? So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur said very nicely in a letter called Patrabali, and I'm paraphrasing what I remember, that progress means elimination and acceptance. Our spiritual life must be always a dynamic thing. Otherwise, we shall be dead. So progress means acceptance and elimination. Nature is selecting some, eliminating others. Life is dynamic. We are living in a dynamic world. Everywhere we find acceptance and elimination. That is progress. And our life must be progressive, not static. Of course, your life is progressive, otherwise you would not be here. You want to move forward. So with that note, I'm going to say how Krishna as a dynamic, compassionate, affectionate person came in our life. Recently we did Gita Jayanti, we're still doing it, distributing Gita in our Alacha temple. So I'll just give you a little beautiful gathering a few key points from Bhagavad Gita that I found how Krishna was so compassionate to us. It opened my heart in a different angle to see the Bhagavad Gita is nothing but an affection and his care. He cares for us and his protection. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commented also on Bhagavad Gita, and Srila Prabhupada's commentary I was combined in a shorter format. Let's see if I can do it. I know I'm a little bit on time, but still probably okay. So the famous verse that 1865 and 9:34, almost similar. Krishna repeated, but there is a something key point. Krishna at the end, he could not control himself, I feel. That's why he repeated and he added something. Manmana bhavamad bhakto majjaji mam namaskuru mame vasyasi sattam te pratijane priyosime. These four things. Think of me, become my devotee, worship me, offer your homage unto me. In this way, surely you'll come back to me. I guarantee you, Arjuna, because I love you very much. Now, I found between these two verses, 934 and 1865, what is the key point I see? Krishna's heart even transformed. Even though Krishna is eternally merciful, but his mercy also magnifies sometimes more than average merciful nature. 934, there he says, Mame Vashyasi Juktetam Atmanam Mat Parayana. Now, in this way, engage, thus you will come back to me. But here he says, you will come back to me, I guarantee you. I speak the truth because I love you. So Jiva Goswami Pada explains in 934, he says that devotee's love for Krishna. This is how the devotee should love Lord. Atmanam mat parayana. Offer your whole existence to Krishna. But so Krishna is initially telling Arjuna, you should become this kind of devotee. But as Bhagavad Gita is progressing, then coming to its climax, Krishna is so eager, so desperate that Arjuna take up devotional service that he tells this verse to show how much I love you. He says, Mam Eboshyasi, which is missing in 934. He says, you will come to me, Sattamte, and I'm speaking you the truth. Why? Pratijane Priyoshime, because you are very dear to me. So Pratijane, this was the word which Krishna used in 931. He says, declare that my devotee will never perish. So Krishna told Arjuna, you declare. And Krishna says, I declare that you will not perish. Then he says, now if you look at it, very nice. 7.28 and 18.66. I remember Chaitanya Prabhu, when he was visiting Alachua, he also mentioned this 7.28. And I was like, today I was finding this, was very interesting. How Krishna's affection grows as you progress. So Arjuna, he said, Arjuna, think, what about my duty to my teacher, my relative? He says, forget it. Krishna literally says, forget it. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja. And you all know by heart that verse. Just surrender unto me. What will happen by that? Aham tam sarva papebha mukshaishyami masucha. I'll free you from all sinful reaction. So in the end of 7th chapter, Krishna tells Arjuna, actually, if you want to become my devotee, I really want you, devotee, please think for a moment. Krishna says this, 7.27, if you want to become my devotee, you have to become free from all sins. Of course, when Prabhupada gave that lecture, and some devotees said, Prabhupada, I did not do anything pious. I don't know previous life, but this life, nothing. My mother was eating beef before I conceived, she conceived me while I was in the womb. And after I came out, I was eating beef, meat with my mother. There was nothing pious. Of course, Prabhupada then changed the mood. You can see Prabhupada's mood also changed in that lecture. He said, yes, I have created piety in you. Same thing Krishna did. Prabhupada was just doing the same thing. So, Jesantu antagata papam jananam punna karmana. Only when you become free from all sin, then you come to me. But here Krishna says, you just come to me. I'll free you from all sin. If you think of 65, it does not say that you need qualification. He said, just come to me. So I remember how it's a wonderful example. The mother tells her child, when the child, just like there is a mother, just example, just think, there is a mother and she tells the child, and child is a baby with a diaper. And he's learning how to stay clean. Mother tells him while she's cooking, whenever you want to respond to nature, you should go to the washroom, respond over there. The child again dirties himself and mother says, don't come near me. First you clean yourself, then you come close to me. Then the child is thinking, how do I do that? I never knew how to clean myself. Like, sounds like me, I feel like this. My heart is so dirty, I don't know how to clean. So mother's heart melts. She said, okay, I know you don't know how to clean. I'll clean you, come. So first he's telling on 728 that, okay, you have to be free from sin. Then you can become devotee and come to me. Now, how many people will come? Then they find all these verses. One sannyasi was telling me many years back. He says, Manushyanam sahasreshu, after thousands of life, then it's not possible in one life. I don't think. That's why, because he fell down for some reason. But he was telling it's very difficult, Prangovind. It's very difficult. But now I look at it, yes, but it can be easy if we have a shelter of Prabhupada and Krishna. It can be in one life, not 1,000 lives. So Krishna unwilling to reveal this knowledge to everyone. Then it is like something a father may have very precious secret treasury. Ultimately, father wants to give the treasury to his children. But if the children are not responsible enough, not grown up enough, then they squander it. So father may not reveal the treasury. So here Krishna feels, I have revealed my heart. Then he tells Arjuna, hey, don't tell this anyone. You look at Bhagavad Gita. If you look at only one verse, it will be confusing. You look at 18.67, Krishna says, don't tell at least these 4 types of people. And I was thinking, well, I fall into this category of 4 types of people. I don't like austerity. I don't like to serve. I don't have bhakti. And I'm envious probably. So Krishna says, okay. Then he notices Arjuna's mood. Then he changes. He says, okay, just share this message. Now Arjuna starts thinking, who will remain to tell them? So then here Krishna is filled with so much ecstasy that Krishna also has his mood swing. We know that famous pastime when Ramanujacharya, Srila Prabhupada gives this story in the purport of Bhagavatam. Then when Ramanujacharya went to see Goshtipurna, he's one of his guru. He has a 5 guru. So Goshtipurna, he says, I give you this secret mantra, but don't tell anyone. And you all know the story, what Ramanujacharya did. He went to the town hall of the big market nearby, right after he heard this sloka, mantra, Om Namo Narayanaya, don't tell anyone. He said, okay, he agreed. But then he went to the tower, top of the tower, and he tell all the people, come, I have the most valuable, most secret. Of course, they didn't know what it was. They thought they will become rich. So they all came. And he made them to repeat, chanting, Om Namo Narayana. So he gave whole thing. Now, when his guru heard this episode, he was so furious. He called and he told him, do you know the result of disobeying your guru? He said, yes. What is the result? I'll go to hell forever. Aren't you afraid? He said, no. Because I know you are pure. Your mantra is pure. You said just by uttering this mantra, one will go to Vaikuntha. So I gave it randomly to anybody, everybody, no qualification. And they will go back home because of your potency, made the mantra alive. We take Guru mantra. Why? Anybody could chant Hare Krishna, will not get spiritual ultimate destiny. Because when Guru gives the mantra, he gives the life in the mantra, then it becomes name, nam, harinam. Mantra is not live. Mantra is there, dormant. The reciter has to evoke the life in the mantra. So he explained like this. Then he said, but Gurudev, I'm sorry I disobeyed you, but thousands of people will be liberated. I don't mind of going to hell for this and stay there eternally. Goshtipurna was so happy seeing his compassionate mood. He said, you understood the real meaning of that, even though it was contrary to the instruction. He said, you actually understood what is Guru's instruction. And he told his own son, take initiation from him. He is more powerful than me. So Krishna did the same thing what Prabhupada did also. Now, if you look at just a couple verses more, now somebody may say, well, Prabhu, I may not be a good preacher. I like this Krishna's affection, but I'm not a good preacher to tell everybody. I'm very shy or whatever reason. Now look at 18.70, 2 verses after this, what Krishna says. Now somebody can say, hey, I cannot. This is difficult for me. I'm not good at it. I know some devotees think like that. Krishna says, just study. Okay, if you cannot preach, just study. If you study my message, you are doing arati of me, arati with your intelligence. So we have arati paraphernalia. We can do worship of Krishna with our intelligence. Just by studying this Bhagavatam, the Bhakti Japa Sangha group. I hope everybody understand. You doing these 4 things. Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakta Madjaji. You may say, oh, we don't do arati. Krishna says here, 18.70, you do arati just by this studying these scriptures and hearing. So all 4 things we do. And what is the final point? Mame Vaishyashi. All of Bhakti Japa Sangha group, listener or speaker and facilitator. See, I am a deprived of 2 things, or maybe 1 thing at least. I'm not a facilitator. Those who are the group host and running, they get 3 benefits. All 3 types of people will be benefited. Those who, one who speaks, one who listen, and one who facilitate. So some of the Bhakti Japa Sangha group, they are all 3. I am only 1 or maybe 2 sometimes, because when I speak, I hear also, and I hear also other speaker. But they get 3, so more benefit. So then Krishna says in 71, now you go to the next one. He says, you will attain the highest destiny. Destination of the pious soul, if you just hear about my message, Bhagavatam. What a nice. Krishna's unlimited concern for Arjuna. What did he do? The next verse. Now Krishna has told the highest message. He has told the glory, the Shruti of message, follow Shruti. Then he expressed his concern once again. Arjuna, have you understood? Kechit echat suttam partha. Prabhupada gave a beautiful purport because that's how he is. He said, if you didn't understand, I'll repeat it again. He's not concerned about the 640 million people ready to kill each other or war. He's concerned about Arjuna's understanding and coming back to him. Arjuna, has your doubt gone? Have you heard attentively? Is everything clear to you? So Krishna is so concerned that Arjuna understands. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained that Krishna is so anxious that if Arjuna says, I have not understood anything, then Krishna says, I'm ready to speak again. And if you want, I'll speak the full Bhagavad Gita again. So normally, if we are in a college, I'm sure all of you have some experience, schooling and college life. If we go to college professor and tell him, sir, I did not understand this, what he will say? Come to my tuition. Means pay a big fee, then I'll tell you. So Krishna, not like a professional teacher. Krishna, when he's speaking out of love. And what happens? Arjuna says, the next verse, Nastamoha smiti labdha. Yes, my illusion has gone. How? By your grace, my Lord. My memory is restored. All my doubts are destroyed. Karishe vachanam tapo. I'll do what you tell me to do. So, and he finished this. Bhagavad Gita is a conversation in many levels. Huh? How I have heard this wonderful conversation. You know, Bhakti Japa Sangha group, what they do. If you are a WhatsApp member, I don't know how you can add, maybe they can say it after the class, how you can join, because it's only admin have to join, allow you. But it is so nice. Krishna says here, I will repeat. You know what Bhakti Japa Sangha group they do? They record these classes, this discussion, and they put it on the WhatsApp so you can hear as many times. Seems like they're more merciful than Krishna. Of course, Krishna inspiring them. So Krishna says here, how I have heard this because of the, Sanjay said, by the mercy of my Guru. So at one level, what we understood, I summarize, that it is a conversation which is successful in its fruit. Another level, it is a conversation which is unsuccessful. You know who that is? Dhritarashtra. And another level, success depends on us. So one level, Krishna and Arjuna. It is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. Right now between you and Bhagavatam. And I'm just also host, facilitator in that sense. So it is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. And Krishna succeed in persuading Arjuna. And Arjuna says, Karishe vachanam tavo. I'll do what you want me to do. But there's a sad, another level. It is a conversation between Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra. And I hope we don't see anybody like that in our life. But it happened, it will happen again. And it is happening, I hope we can help. Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra. In one sense, Sanjaya fails. Dhritarashtra's heart did not change. Does not change. By the message of Bhagavad Gita is so glorious. Just be repeating that message, Sanjaya became filled with ecstasy. That's why he says, what is the effect? Rajan Sanskrita. In 76, on the Bhagavad Gita, he was so overwhelmed. He said, every moment I'm ecstatic. So Srila Prabhupada says in that purport that actually the result of Krishna consciousness is so one enjoys life. I hope all the devotees in the movement are enjoying life, Krishna consciousness. Not just occasionally, but with a thrill at every moment. Why not, Prabhus and mothers? We are here for ultimate happiness. When we are hearing and hearing and hearing, that's supposed to happen, transform our heart. And to emphasize that, in the next verse, Arjuna says, Rishami cha puna puna, 77. So first he says, I'm remembering the message. I'm feeling thrilled. Then he says, I'm remembering the magnificent form that Krishna showed. I'm also feeling thrilled by that. So at that level, Sanjaya is successful because he has become Krishna conscious. He has become filled with ecstasy. So when we preach, when we distribute books, if people take, that is wonderful. But even if they don't take, if we repeat Krishna's message, we actually become uplifted. We become enlivened. In 78 is the final verse answering the first question of Dhritarashtra. It's beautiful. The starting question to Dhritarashtra was that what happened at the battlefield? So 78th verse is the answer, what happened. It is not exactly a full description of what happened. That will come later, but it is a prediction of what is going to happen. It's already predicted. Dhritarashtra has to grasp. Jatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Jatra Partha Dhanudhara. Arjuna being described as Partha Dhanudhara. So if you look at 73rd verses, Arjuna said, Karishye vachanam tava, I'm ready to do as you want me to do. But when he has to do what Krishna wants him to do, what is he going to do? He's going to pick up his bow and fight. That is what he described here, Partha Dhanurdhara. Arjuna has picked up his bow, 1.46. If you look at that, he gave up. He said that the Gandiva is falling off. In the start, I explained what Arjuna's bow represent. What represent? Determination to serve Krishna. So at the deepest level, Bhagavad Gita is a conversation between you or the soul and Krishna. Srila Prabhupada explained when he gave his second initiation ceremony in New York, he said, now you need not lament no matter what happens. Now you have made Krishna the charioteer of your life. So when we are practicing bhakti, we are making Krishna the charioteer of our life. So only thing we have to do is at the start of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna was instructing Krishna. At the end, he was ready to receive instruction from Krishna. So when we have made Krishna as the charioteer, Krishna will take care of everything for us. So at the other level, whenever there is some distress, whenever there is some difficulty, if we meditate on Krishna's word, we can again get rejuvenated. And we can also become Dhanurdhara, determined. That determination comes from the conviction we have. And that conviction comes from the inner connection. Like Bhakti Japa Sangha group, they have a nice chanting. Today I was listening. I wish I could hear this chanting every day. So nice. You can just join and hear the chanting. Everybody joins so nicely. So that inner connection, chanting means I'm connecting. Without inner connection, without sadhana, there is no conviction. And no conviction means no determination. So there's so many obstacles in our life. Yes, we can say that. But actually when Krishna shows his universal form, he sees the huge power of universal form. Krishna tells Arjuna, Riteopitam na bhavishyanti sarve, that even without you, everybody will be destroyed. Don't worry. So without you, everybody will be destroyed. If you take up Krishna consciousness, you can get credit. When one devotee asked Prabhupada that, I think Achyutananda Prabhu told me that, yes, Achyutananda Prabhu. He said to Prabhupada, well, one person says, Mahaprabhu says, every village and town, Krishna consciousness, if he said that, he could have done it. Prabhupada told him, go and tell that devotee that yes, he could have done it, but he left the credit for me. Then Prabhupada turned to his disciples. He said, try to take this advantage and take the credit. Do not leave Krishna consciousness. Try your best to practice every day, even in the worst nightmare challenges comes. Vishal Prabhu, he just passed away. He was in Miami. He used to be in Alacho also. So I had a long discussion many times. One time he said he was standing at the corner, door threshold, where this sannyasi, I won't say the name because I respect him too. He said to Prabhupada, if I leave, I feel like the whole temple will collapse. Everything is like, I have to like push. Prabhupada told him, you leave, maybe nothing will collapse. Rather, somebody will come and do better. Do not ever think yourself the doer. You are doing. But look at other way. You are given an opportunity to take the spiritual credit. Then you can be back home, back to God at the end of your life. You decide. But I suggest don't go, don't leave. Try your best. And don't take the credit you are doing, so everything is moving. No, it is Krishna using you as instrument. I remember. So it is a mission, unstoppable. This is ISKCON. Krishna is in our heart. He has taken our chariot in his hand. We can try to stop Krishna, but we are tiny and Krishna is infinite. We cannot stop Krishna. So trying to stop him, we just, what should we do? Cooperate with him. We can return back to him. So the conclusion, so let's conclude with one prayer of Arjuna. This is a wonderful. Arjuna offered this prayer to Krishna at the end of the Mahabharata war, when Vishnu Sahasranam is being spoken. He gives his revelation of how the Lord loves his devotee. So this is Krishna's version. So Krishna has told how I love my devotee. All the Zoom Bhakti Japa Sangha group, I feel Krishna is telling that. Arjuna's version is how you love me. So you will conclude with this prayer. Please fold your hand and repeat after me. Maybe in Google's it possible, I'm not sure. Padma Patra Vishalaksha. Can somebody repeat so I can hear that actually somebody's. Padma Patra Vishalaksha.
Padma Patra Vishalaksha.
Very good. Padma Nava Shurottama. Padma Nava
Padma Nava
Shurottama.
Surottam.
Bhaktanam Anuraktanam.
Bhaktanam Anuraktanam.
Trata Bhava Janardana. Okay, let's do one more time. Padma Patra Vishalaksha.
Padma Patra Vishalaksha.
Padma Nabha Surottama.
Padmanabha Surottama.
Bhaktanam Anuraktanam.
Bhaktanam Anuraktanam.
Trata Bhava Janardana.
Trata Bhava Janardana.
Okay, the final version. Padma Patra Vishalaksha.
Padma Patra Vishalaksha.
Padma Nava Surottama.
Padmanabha Surottama.
Bhaktanam Anuraktanam.
Bhaktanam Anuraktanam.
Trata Bhava Janardana.
Trata Bhava Janardana.
Thank you, mothers and brothers. So I'll end with this translation. The Padma Patra Vishalaksha. Oh my Lord, Arjuna prayed, your eyes are lotus-like. What does that mean? It indicates that they don't see selflessly, where in this material world, everybody sees what is in it there for me. I remember when I used to see a beautiful mata or a girl, I would think, oh, my eyes likes to see the beauty. Or a Disneyland, whatever, a garden. Oh, my eyes likes to see it. Then it is good. If I see an ugly lady or ugly man or ugly scenario or horrible, I don't like it. Why my eyes does not get satisfied? Yes, eyes has a value. What is the value of your eyes? Akshanatam idam sarvam. The gopis asked. Here Arjuna is saying, what is the value of Krishna's eyes? When Krishna sees you, he's not seeing you. He's thinking how to benefit you, how to bring you closer to him and give you all fortune. This is how Krishna looks at us. But Krishna, he does not have a selfishness. He is simply selfless, unaffected by the materialistness of this world. Vishalaksha, and his eyes very big. It is not that he will miss out. This is the way Arjuna composed this. We may think I'm so small, but Krishna, he sees me with big eyes like Jagannath, and it never closes. He sees every one of us. Padma Patra Vishalaksha, Padmanabha Sarottama. Actually, he is the Lord of the person who created this world. He is the Lord of the person who are controlling this world. He can control everything and protect everyone. Most importantly, Bhaktanam Anuraktanam. He is very attached to his devotees. What does he do? Trata Bhava Janardhan. He actually delivers the devotee from material existence. So this is the love of Krishna, which is revealed to us in Bhagavad Gita. I'm sorry, I could not go into the Guru Parampara's contribution, but there is so much. But every day, I can suggest to you, every day you can think of one personality in this disciplic succession and think what you got from that personality and try to, because if we cannot see what we receive from them, we cannot be grateful. It will be like empty, without substance. It will not be genuine. We should not become formalist, but substantialist, not fashionist, not imitationist, but realistic thinkers. That should always be our temperament. I'll end here. I'm sorry I went way over time. I hope you all forgive me for that. What should I do now? Mother Radha.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Beautiful and very enlightening class. Beautiful song also. I'm requesting devotees. If anybody have any questions, please raise hands or you can unmute.
Everyone is convinced. That's nice.
Hare Krishna, Prangovind Prabhuji, thank you so much for such an inspiring class. So many beautiful points that you shared. I loved the story that you shared about Bhagavati Devi, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wife, how on her departure bed, I've never heard that story before, and that was just amazing to me that she told Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, or reminded him of his father's instructions. That's just so beautiful to me. And here we are today, by the grace of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and Srila Prabhupada. Here we are today. Srila Prabhupada saved our souls, and it's continuing, like you said, for the next 10,000 years. So thank you so much. And thank you for such a wonderful class. As Mataji said, the bhajan at the beginning, I love that you've been doing that lately when you come. It's so wonderful. And you make the class so inspiring that way. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mother Tiffany. Okay, maybe we can close then.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Very, very wonderful class, Prabhuji, and very nice instructions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mata.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Beautiful points you can easily understand. Once again, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening class today. We are very grateful to you and we look forward to your association again and again in the future. Let's pay our obeisance to Prabhuji.
Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you.
Nandaguri Vaishnav Vrinda
Vaishnava
ki
Vrinda ki
jai.
jai.
Jai Shri
Srila
Hare
Prabhupada
Krishna.
ki jai.
Jai.
Bhakti Japa Sangha Group.
Ki
Jai.
jai.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhupada. Shyam Gauri Mataji, very beautiful sari. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. We have
Yeah, and Radha.
Beautiful goddess.
Ooh,
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Kalachanji. The Kalachanji. Beautiful.
yes.